Education has always proven to be a very important tool for development in any country. According to the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization UNESCO, education is a human right and a force for sustainable development and peace. It is for this reason that the UN Sustainable Development Goal number 4 highlights education in the 2030 Agenda as a requirement to empower people with the knowledge, skills, and values to live in dignity, build their lives, and contribute to their societies. In Ghana, however, although stakeholders and government have taken steps to ensure the realization of quality education, there is still a lot of work to be done as the Ghanaian educational sector is facing several challenges, especially in rural areas, and KUMAWU BODOMASE, which is located in the Setre KUMAWU district of the Ashanti region, is no exception. Schools in KUMAWU BODOMASE are still studying in wooden structures, while others study in churches and under trees. BODOMASE, with all the great history like the story of Nana Genti, who fought with death and carried its palanquin, the story of the Bodom tree that never withers regardless of the season, cannot pride itself in its only senior high school, BODOMASE Secondary Technical School.
Enwumashia yade a edame baafo atachwemo a akoma ho yie. Je enwumashia na di mpuntuo ba oma biara mu. Enti ebeye mfie enumuni midi secondary technical aba BODOMASE. BODOMASE secondary technical your friend Bostech. Our course is yara abada roma mofra wo ho amunsu huma.
Chief of BODOMASE, Berima Atachenbua, expresses concerns about the poor condition of the school.
Prime century force na abati Ministry of Education or Ghana Education Services omahwe ngumaso so se what the school na bade na ye share baby a school no students on bedida a dormitory administrative block and dining hall no nyina ade o manwa na mdi won wanim ayesisi ye ne ayada classrooms ansana GNPC ebisi wo da so di aka ho nti ye share dormitory students beda na akwanimu.
The school, which received a facelift from the Ghana National Petroleum Corporation, still lacks some basic facilities like a library, administration block, science lab, and a toilet facility. James Appiah is the headmaster. He explains how difficult learning and teaching has been after rainstorms ripped off some roofs and demolished some classrooms.
Our challenges were deepened and it became so critical when on 6th March this year, 2021, heavy rainstorm hit the school. We have temporary places that are being used as administration block, staff common room we don't have, but we are still managing. We are getting temporary places to serve those purposes.
He also stressed on the need for accommodation or dormitories for students, especially those who travel from afar to receive tuition in BODOMASE.
We are also facing the challenge of getting dormitory for the school. It's a day school, it's purely a day school, but I'm talking about dormitory because we will be very happy if the school can be converted from day to boarding, because a lot of people have been coming from all over the country, but we can't get accommodation for them. So we only resort to admitting those who are from the community and the surrounding villages. So we know that if we get a structure to serve as dormitories, it will help a lot so that we can increase our admission. The school also doesn't have a hall, assembly hall, or what I can say multi-purpose hall. If we get a hall, it can serve for so many purposes, and it will be our meeting place.
Head of the Technical and Vocational Skills Department, Edu Jemfi-Nyantechi, explained how the school has been forced into having their technical skills practicals in the open after their workshop and classrooms were pulled down by the rains.
At first, we were using the structure for our practicals, and then a classroom was also there. We have our departmental office there, but unfortunately it rained and everything ripped off like that. So we are coping. We are just doing our practicals in open space where we think it can help. We have small tools, even though it's not enough, but we are using them. We use some of improvised ways to tackle this issue, especially benches and cutting tools, tools that normally we use for these practicals. We don't have, but still we are managing. I have some, and my assistant too have some. So normally we bring them together to help the students. The government is doing his best, and we are urging him to come to our aid. We were having a workshop there, but it's not completed. So if probably he may come, and if any philanthropist out there may come to help us, we will be glad. And then everything will be moving on smoothly.
A block that was being used as a technical workshop, and some of the rooms there being used as classrooms were ripped off. The roof was ripped off by a heavy rainstorm, and it gave us a big blow. We have communicated information to NADMO, the District Assembly, the GES, and other places, and we are looking forward to hear positive response from them. We are taking this opportunity to appeal to anybody who hears us that please, this is the situation of the school and we need your assistance. Please come to our aid to help us get to put the place in order. In fact, the building cannot be re-roofed because it was an old building, old classroom block. I've been told it was serving as a middle school, and when the school later on was converted to a senior high school, it served as classrooms and technical workshop for the school.
The issue of quality education at the BODOMASE Presbyterian Junior High School is not different or probably worse than what was seen at the senior high school. On my way to the school, I met one of the assembly members in BODOMASE, Janet Achina. She accompanied the team to the BODOMASE Presby JHS, but not without taking the news team through the routes. According to her, the deep trenches are death traps to the student and community members alike.
Hospital.
Abanso so be na kakrani be mfie be miensani o se KUMAWU BODOMASE obe tan rules caterpillar e wo KUMAWU e ba BODOMASE ayi akwane a if you be seen yenti kutam jame e monka nsuo tokora na ye nanka ne yetan baby kora nanka yepe nanso ye de adesede fa metro tv so mon sentwefo so na aba ate se KUMAWU BODOMASE 10 rules no o ka so be no e wo mi se nimfuo dɔɔso na krobia betumpɔni a ɔma bia betumpɔni a eso ma na fa na ye na kwan titru de sa ba se e kwan no ka so bi atoto yemfikire ne abonten so no yese no omobode no maye na ode ka akra ko ufia otimdi akọ.
I continued my visit to the BODOMASE Presbyterian JHS. About 50 meters to the school, I came across another death trap. This is one of the waterways of the rivers serving BODOMASE. It looks dry and dusty because the rains have not set in. The BODOMASE Presbyterian Church. On a normal day, once I mention church, you would think we are here for fellowship. But it's rather unfortunate this church is simultaneously serving as a classroom for the BODOMASE Presbyterian JHS. Believe it or not, this is where students meet their teachers so they can be able to make up for their final examinations. Let's get in. For the choristers have been converted to accommodate the final year student of the BODOMASE Presby JHS. Students expressed their dissatisfaction about their current state.
Me, I don't feel well, and my colleagues are not feel well. We need marker board, lack of classroom block, lack of ICT, computer lab, some of the furnitures like classroom chairs and others. I feel very sad because this class is very filthy for us.
It's very bad because we don't have toilet facilities and we don't even have classroom to sit inside. Sometimes when twins we have been asked to go back home because we don't have a place to sit to study. Every morning you have to water here before we sit inside to study, and by the end of the day we close, there will be dust all around.
In a dispensation where religion has taken over our daily activities, what happens if a church like BODOMASE Presbyterian Church is running a week-long program, let's say from even 6 a.m. to midday? Where are these students going to have their studies? I decided to speak to some teachers in the staff common room. That is, if they have, to find out how they are coping under such a situation.
We need to stay outside until the church comes to a close before we can take over our learning activities.
So coming outside, where do you go?
Oh, that one we have no option to rather stand with the kids. Sometimes we leave them to do their own private studies.
Right under these trees?
Under the trees. And we don't have enough trees outside there for them to stay. I sometimes support my teaching with the only laptop I have to let the kids practice some of the activities that will help them to answer some of the questions.
So you are using your personal laptop?
My personal laptop.
I know in ICT maybe you'll be teaching the desktop, this is the monitor, this is the mouse, and then the next morning you come with a laptop that has everything combined. How are the students able to understand what you taught and then what you brought to them?
At times we support it with picture.
Okay.
In some of the books that help them to identify these components.
Coming up here, it was challenging because we were not having a classroom or class school building. So that was where the problem started. At the down there, that building belongs to the DA. It was a dual one, and then the Presby went there to take over. When the DA saw that everything has been done, they came to claim the building back. That's why we were asked to move to our premises. Go back there, the new building, that the structure that they are putting up is there. For almost 4 years, we haven't seen any improvement. It is still there. So it's a headache. The Form 1 and then 2s are in a structure, a wooden structure over there, and then the Form 3s are also up there, as you saw. Then the teachers too, we are also down here in the same church building. So it's a problem. When it started raining, we have to put in some, at times the children will put stones in the river, then it helped them to cross. And then we did that structure as you saw over there. So it was helping, and now it has broke. So it's a problem.
We don't have a school block. We've been here since I came. I came to meet them here. And then since then, we've been here. Nothing, no improvement. They will come, they will promise, oh, we are going to build them. But no, they won't. I don't know whether you've been to our site. Every year we clear it, like almost every year. They will promise we'll be coming soon, so let the kids go and clear. We will do that and then nothing. So it's quite hectic for us. It's a big problem and challenging. You know, we've written letters to assemblies, a lot of memorandums attached. Also, there are some benevolent people, we also approach them, yet there's not anything. They will just promise, oh, you'll come, but I don't know. We don't know the real situation at hand. Always they just promise, then nothing else.
I've been speaking to teachers in a supposed staff common room. This is not your everyday staff common room. On Sundays, it's serving as a place where the stewards are counting their offerings. During the week or the weekdays from Monday to Fridays, teachers use this place or improvise this same place as a staff common room. The first class was just the JHS3 class. I decided to visit the Form 1 and 2 classes to find out if their case was any different. Early on, the teachers made mention of a new classroom block under construction. After some minutes' walk, we arrived at the site. At a glance, it was obvious that the new building, which is yet to be completed, has collapsed. So behind me is the new classroom block that was supposed to be built for the BODOMASE Presbyterian Junior High School. It has come to a halt for reasons best known to the contractors. But then I am here with Kwame Donko. He is the headmaster for BODOMASE Presbyterian Junior High School. Sir, how long has this edifice been here?
I started in 2017, and gradually this is the stage we are now.
So it's supposed to be how many classrooms?
It's supposed to be 3 classrooms, headmaster's office, staff common room, store, and computer lab.
Who is in charge of this contract?
It's the district assembly, Secretary KUMAWU.
Led by the DC?
Yes, please.
So, what is their reason for not continuing with the building?
We have been with them since the structure came to a halt. But according to them, it is always promising that they will come and continue. Mostly we call the contractor and he also say the same thing, that he will come. So sometimes they bring soil, sand for maybe the continuation of the work. Sometimes they bring some small cement, but it will be there for several months and no work is going on.
Let's talk about the students in the church and then those in the wooden structure. How long have they been there?
They've been there since 2017 because we were, this our situation is a long story.
Have you reached out to authorities? What are they saying?
It is always promising. They always give us hopes that they will come and complete this structure for us. So always it is, we will come. The actual reason may be best known to the authorities. We as teachers, ours is to push, and we've tried our best. If it is writing of letters, if it is consulting the district chief executive or elders, assemblyman or assemblywoman, we have been trying all this. The pastor or the minister of the church, who is the local manager, we always move with him. SMC, PTA, we've been to the assembly several times, but my brother, this is still the situation.
How has this whole thing generally affected students, especially with the final years?
Since we moved to this place, most of my teachers because they were not comfortable with the situation, they've asked for transfer and they left the system. So the teachers we see today are those who are committed. We are committed to remain until we get a lasting solution to this problem. So we are doing it is we improvise, moving from one classroom to the other, because it's not closer to each other. Sometimes the children, especially Fridays, children leave for town without the knowledge or being seen by teachers. But if we are in a one building, then we can monitor the students very well. That is the challenge. Church activities is always a problem for the minister and the elders and the church members, because sometimes programs should be organized. Because we are occupying the chapel, most of the activities are not being taken place because we are there. And mostly we are being asked to move outside for church activities to go on. Teachers, where we use our staff common room, we have to pack all the tables and chairs before Sunday. So every Monday we have to bring back all the teachers' tables and chairs. And Fridays we have to pack them elsewhere because the church will use the place. So it is packing out, packing in, always.
For a town whose history is very instrumental in the development of the Ashanti Kingdom, what is accounting for its lapses in education? The District Chief Executive, Samuel Ade Ajekum, was contacted for some reactions on efforts being put in place to help these schools upgrade.
We've been able to send a report of BODOMASE technical schools, that one also to the regional NADMO office and the regional minister for onward submission. Government is taking steps to address the challenges involved. It was rather unfortunate that this incident happened, but with or without it, we had already planned to put up an infrastructure for them so that they will be able to get a place to learn.
What happens to the Sustainable Development Goal 4 with a 2030 target of ensuring inclusive and equitable quality education and promotion of lifelong learning opportunities for all, including natives of KUMAWU BODOMASE? Reporting for Metro News, Shadrach Odame Ejare, KUMAWU BODOMASE, Ashanti Region.